I am Josh Kirby. This is the Kirby on Sports podcast at the Washington Spirit home opener. The Spirit falls to Kansas City by a score of 2-0, but it was a sellout crowd, record attendance, and we have it all covered for you right here on the Kirby on Sports podcast. You'll hear from Washington Spirit owner Michele Kang and representatives from CVS Health as the Spirit and CVS Health renew a multi-year partnership in a press event held before the game. Afterwards, stay tuned from post-game interviews from the head coach and players. All coming your way next on the Kirby on Sports podcast.
Speaking of our season opening game, we're about a couple hundred shy of sellout. So I want you to all take out your cell phone, text anyone and everyone you know in DC, tell them to come out. It's a beautiful day to watch our game. So let's hope. We have a couple hours left. So it's going to be a sellout, which is going to be yet another record for the Spirit. So every day, every game, we're actually breaking our own record. So much for that, but we're here to celebrate this incredible partnership.
I'm Andi Sullivan. I'm a midfielder for your favorite Washington Spirit, and I've been here for 8 years. And when I came in 8 years ago, things looked very different. And I feel like that's given me an incredible opportunity to witness the growth of this team and the league. And I've had a unique perspective of experiencing rapid evolution firsthand. It's been truly amazing. One of the biggest changes I've seen, especially with Michele taking control of ownership, is the increased sustainability and professionalism all over the club. And this year-to-year growth has been, again, super exciting to witness, but now as CVS is coming back and for a multi-year deal, it's just receiving an even deeper commitment to the Spirit. And as this club is always seeking to do, this partnership is raising the bar. And it's a reflection of the trust and belief in our team, and it's a huge step for women's sports as a whole.
Good afternoon, Josh Kirby, Kirby on Sports. I just want to get your thoughts collectively from the fan base side. You mentioned that this game's about to sell out, 100 plus more tickets left. But what does that support from the fans and the excitement with the fans coming to Audi Field to support the Washington Spirit? What does that mean to you all?
I'll go first. Again, reflecting on the fan base, like we've had such a committed fan base since I've been here, and now it's just growing and intensifying even more. And as you can see when I'm on the field, I'm extremely focused and don't really know what's going on. But the energy exchange is so valuable to us as players, because when we're playing well, we feel the fans getting excited, and then we reach this whole other capacity of what we're able to give. So obviously then we play better, and it just becomes this crazy exchange and amplification of energy and quality. And it's a huge advantage for us at home, and we saw that play out in the second half of the season, especially last year, and give us momentum and give us an edge. And even this week, as we prepared for this game, which will be an extremely challenging, fun, exciting game, we talked about playing at home and playing at home again for the first time in a while. And that's what means the most to us. And it's not just players, it's our staff as well. Everyone is so excited to be back home here at the stadium with our fans. And it's been a huge motivator for us in preparation, and will, again, be a re-energizer for us when we're on the field.
And just a quick follow-up, how do you like the new kits?
I love them. I love the black. I love the yellow. I love the energy, something different. Obviously, we got a taste of the yellow last year, but they're fun. I feel good when I'm wearing them. And yeah, what else, Kate? Any other thoughts? Kate's up here in the yellow if anyone wants to see it. No, but we love them, and they're fun, and they're exciting, and we're excited to wear them at home and away.
You mentioned the attendance for today. Just kind of, what does it say about the momentum that this team has built, especially with the playoff run last year and those sellout crowds at Audi Field, that you're in a position where you will have a crowd like you will tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a cumulative efforts, right? So on the business side, building fandom, fan experiences, and all those things clearly are paying off. But also the successes that we have on the pitch, right? That started from putting together the best roster and also putting together the best technical staff. Really looking around the world and finding the best resources to bring it here and putting all that together. I think you need all those components. You can't just do marketing. You can't just do fan engagement, because if you don't win on the pitch, people are going to lose their interest. So they all need to go together. So our focus has been, my focus has been when I first took over, was really on the product first, right? So we have to build the best product on the pitch so that people are excited about it. It's the most fun and athletic game. And then we also, in parallel, we're going to do the fan engagement and all those type of things, and I think they're all coming together. So it's I'm just really grateful. Kim and her team have been doing an incredible job on the business side, and Jonah and the team, Adrian, the assistant coach, and the players have done an incredible job. So I'm really looking forward to this season.
Year over year, what would you say that this year in particular you've done to make Audi feel like the Spirit's home?
I think that we're continuing to build, right? So we're, short of painting the whole Audi Field with our names and our logos and our players' names and so forth, we're trying to add a lot of elements in terms of little things like, where the kids can go paint their faces, but then also a lot of entertainments and providing more information. It's not just on the pitch, but all the communications leading up to the game. So I think those are all kind of a comprehensive efforts. Yep.
Michele, how did you have the excellent idea of bringing Jonatan Giráldez to the team?
Well, you're trying to build the best team in the world, so what do? You have to look for the best coach in the world. So, by all accounts, he is an incredible coach, led Barcelona against Lyon, won the Champions League twice in a row, all that. So, you have to go for the best staff. Yeah, just like going after the best players.
Talking about building, this is a little bit adjacent to the Spirit specifically, but talking about building brands for these players and recognition, there was an announcement of the WS7, the 7-on-7 tournament that's going to involve teams from around the world. Curious what your thoughts are on a tournament like that and what it means for players specifically and teams being able to, I guess the messaging for like Ali Wagner was being able to get in front of more people.
Yeah, so I'm still learning. I'm not really totally familiar with what that is. My focus is, I'm focusing on the game, right? The football game of soccer, and that's really foundational block. When that is really successful, a lot of different variations and different forms can really flourish. So there are multiple opportunities, multiple ways to get to our consumers and our fans. My focus is going to be making sure that the base product, 11, that's going to get up to the level that it can actually achieve. That's my personal focus, and that's clearly the NWSL focus. And once that is at the level that we think it's going to reach, and it's not that far, in my opinion, then all kinds of different formats and competitive formats and everything else could also exist. So I don't think it's a zero-sum game. I think there are multiple forms that could flourish, but my focus is you have to have the base product at its full strength before you can start sort of branching out.
And to build on that, just really quickly, we're seeing two matchups this weekend, KC and Spirit and Gotham and Orlando, where those are the teams that were heavily invested and were also the top teams at the end of the season. From your perspective, are those directly correlated, the investment to the success?
I have nothing to do with scheduling. That's the league. You can ask the league that question. So I have no idea how all these games are. I think there's some sort of a software. I don't know. So ask the league. Yeah. So, yeah.
Michele, in the future, there is a possibility that we can see overseas playing the Washington Spirit. Like last year, the Chelsea plays here in
Oh, you mean the friendly games? Yeah, it's actually I mean, we want to do it. It's incredibly challenging because of the calendars, and fundamentally, the U.S. and the Europe have different calendars, right? Spring to fall, fall to spring, and then the summers are always either World Cup or the Olympics, and then in Europe there's a Nations League and so forth. It's actually incredibly difficult to make the timing work. So I'm not sure whether that's going to happen this year, but we will. You know, it's a great opportunity for us to have that kind of games. But we'll do our best. But international calendar is pretty challenging.
We'll do one more question.
Michele, you mentioned building a roster. Trinity Rodman's in her final year of her contract. How much are you trying to be involved in this situation, being that Trinity was here when you got here?
Of course.
And how would you
I
love to
was
keep
right
her?
there when we actually announced the draft. I was there. It was in the Segra, and it was a virtual because of the COVID. And at that time, yeah, I was here.
So how important will it be to
Very
maintain?
important, very important. Not only for the Spirit, but in my opinion, for NWSL as well. So I think we're going to do everything in our power to hopefully keep her here. She's an integral part of our success meaning the Spirit as well as NWSL.
One follow up on that, just she's expressed specific interest in just at some point in her career experiencing Europe. You obviously are also invested in European clubs. Can you imagine a scenario where like a loan could be worked out if she wanted to experience like that?
So I'm actually a globalist, both in the businesses. So I do think that anyone and everyone, that applies to European players. The European players should actually go at some point go experience the American football or different football. The same thing with the American football players as well. So I think experiencing different style, different leagues, it's actually a good thing. So we'll see.
On shifting formation tonight to deal with Kansas City. How do you feel that went? Did it work?
Yeah, I think I said outside back was on, but sometimes we did a good job, but sometimes just we got pressing. But I thought that was better than last game. So, and I touched the ball a lot more than last game. So I think me or Racy should be touch the ball more, and then creating build up and create chances. Yeah.
How difficult was it to progress from receiving the ball in the midfield, moving it through, and then breaking into the attacking third? It seemed like it was hard to create big chances from that point. What were you seeing?
I think we had 3 defenders, and me and Lacey was close, but me and Lacey to Haji was too far. So we need to more between players, and yeah, sometimes we need to first touch or a one touch. But yeah, just should be better.
So what was your perspective on the penalty call there?
It's a difficult one. I mean, I just jumped up to head the ball, and I feel like a natural motion is to jump with your arms. I mean, I feel like having them by my side would be a little strange. So I'm a little bit frustrated and upset about it, and I think if I was in the same situation, I'd do exactly the same thing again. So I think that's the part I'm finding difficult, but you just got to kind of accept it and move on, and we had opportunities to come back into the game after that.
And then you have the formation shift with the 3 center backs. Just what were your thoughts on how that part of the game went today?
I think it worked quite well in terms of keeping their most threatening players quiet for the most part of the game, obviously until the very end when it just became a really open game, and it was less difficult to get into those organised defensive situations. But I feel like for the most part we had good structure and kind of limited their opportunities in behind, and when they did get there, Aubrey was there to sweep it up. So yeah, I feel like it offered us a bit more stability at the back against their attacking options, and we were able to threaten ourselves a little in behind a bit more.
On that note, trying to break some of those lines, it seemed like it was fairly able to break the first line, get into the middle third. What were you seeing from the deeper position about the ability to sort of break them down once it got to entering the final third, entering the box?
Yeah, I think we created some opportunities. There were just a couple of times maybe when the final pass was a little heavy or not quite where we needed it to be, but I feel like we got into the final third quite often. It's just then having numbers in the box to try and threaten as much as possible. Obviously, maybe we lost an extra number by having more players at the back, but I felt like we got into the final third pretty regularly, and we progressed up the pitch and obviously created a couple of really good chances. We had clearances off the line and goal disallowed, so it's frustrating that these fine margins didn't go our way today, but I feel like there's a lot of positives to take forward into the coming games next week and then after the international break too.
Did the referee give you any sort of clarification on what he saw that changed things on the penalty kick call?
I mean, I said to him I don't know how I'm supposed to jump without my arms going into the air, and he just said that it created a barrier to the goal. I mean, obviously I have confidence that Aubrey would have saved it anyway, but yeah, it's a tricky one.
I know that a loss in the home opener is not what you want to see, but I know this broken attendance record, third straight sellout. Can I just get your thoughts as a player on this team and the support these fans are bringing to this team? What does that mean to you?
It's amazing. We love playing at Audi. Rowdy Audi definitely was today. There's such a lift to us when we went behind. They were just so behind us, and the noise they brought was absolutely incredible throughout the game, and it makes it a lot of fun to be a part of, and we're absolutely desperate to win for them, and losing at home isn't something we're used to, and it's not something we're going to get used to. We're determined to bounce back next week with a win and give the fans a performance that they can enjoy and be proud of, and a win.
What do you think needs to be worked on for next week to get that win?
I mean, the obvious one is just scoring goals. We had opportunities. It's just trying to be a little more clinical where we can. The keeper, to be fair, pulled off a couple of amazing saves, like the one from Tara in the first half. So it's just trying to get more numbers into the final third and maybe sustain our attacks a little bit longer, because it felt at times that when we did progress, we were just desperate to kind of go forward and drive all the time, whereas sometimes we can just sustain it a little higher up the pitch and kind of keep them penned in into their own half.
Yes.
I wanted to ask first your thoughts overall on playing out of a different system tonight, how you did with it, how much it maybe frustrated Kansas City?
I feel like, well, we played in a 3-back before. It was just different personnel on the field for it. I think we did well breaking them down. We just had to be more calm when we won the ball back, and just some of our passes was like 1 inch, 1 foot off, so that's when they were able to counter. But when we clean those things up, I feel like we're going to get going.
On the chance that it was very close to going in, it looked like Lorena hit her hand on the post, saving it. What were you seeing? What did you see in terms of maybe did it cross the line? I don't know that there was a particularly good replay that we could see.
I didn't think it did win the run of play, so yeah, it was a good save, but we're getting there, so hopefully the next one's in.
What did you see out of tonight's game that you sort of take away positively to work on in order to get that win come next week?
I think it was way better in just possession and build-up than last week for us. We did not play very well last week, so at least we have some good takeaways in possession and being able to connect passes and find the open midfielder. But I feel like once we get higher up the field and into the box, we have to be more calm and recycle sometimes.
Just in terms of the past before, but like how much of a factor were all those injuries, affecting the team?
Yeah, obviously we miss all our injured players, and we hope that they have a speedy recovery and can get back on the field with us. But the players that we do have are able to step up and keep performing at the high level that we want to be at.
What was going through your mind during that sequence in the second half where you have the 3 video reviews in about a 10-minute span and kind of had to mentally deal with the interruptions and the calls not going your way on those?
Yeah, it's just like always just gotta get the next one. I feel like even though the calls weren't going our way, we were still getting momentum off that, and the fans were getting louder and louder, so we wanted to keep going for them and just, get the next one.
Did you think this week's performance, not the result, but the performance, was better than last week?
Oh yeah, for sure. We played really bad at Houston. Yeah, we did win, but we did not play how we wanted to.
And just despite the loss, the attendance record, third straight sellout, just as a player, what does that mean to you and the support that these fans around the district are giving you all?
It's amazing. I mean, I love playing here. I love playing for these fans in the city. So when we come out here and it's electric like that, it just gives us motivation to keep going. Wasn't the result we wanted, but we'll be back next week. And hopefully they will too.
After a strong first half defensive display from you guys, how does going down early in the second half kind of affect you guys as a team, and how do you kind of bounce back from that?
I feel like it's kind of just like how when the calls weren't going our way, like he was saying, we just gotta play the next 5 minutes, and the next one we can't really harp on the past. So it wasn't very fun going down, but I feel like we stepped up and we started playing better and got more chances. So next time we just gotta put those away. I'm not sure about going forward, but this particular game, I feel like we were more covered defensively, and then we were able to get Esme and I higher, so break down their forwards and breaking lines like that.
All right. We have head coach Jonatan Giráldez. Jason, go ahead and kick us off.
Sure, thanks for speaking with us. Tara just said in the mix zone that she felt the performance, not the result, but the performance tonight was better than last week. What did you see in terms of the team adapting to a different system, playing against, with respect to Houston, probably a higher caliber opponent?
Good evening. I think we did a good job in possession and to possession. The changes that we propose, if we compare from the last week, I think the team played much better. If we compare with the last week. Probably the first minute we didn't have the confidence to play, but I think we have spaces to play today, and we identified much better the advantage today than the last week. But when game is 50-50 and both teams can win because they have talent, we knew. But in general, I cannot say that I am sad with the performance, because last week I was not happy with the performance, but we got the result. We got the 3 points, and today we didn't. So I cannot be happy because we didn't win, but I cannot complain about the performance, because about it is what happened today. And in the end, I have to recognize that they scored 2 goals, they won, and we have to keep working to try to improve our level.
I wanted to also ask about breaking into the final third. It seemed like maybe that was the one missing piece. Narumi mentioned maybe some distance with her and Lacey to Hachi. What did you see as far as that side of the ball went?
Yeah, it's try to find the balance, because when you need people to stretch the defensive line, I think today we felt comfortable in possession because we had 3 players stretching the defensive line and players ready to thread behind, and that create, I think, a huge space for Lacey and Rumi. And after that, trying to find passes with Hachi dropping a little bit her position, probably we didn't have enough, with our wingbacks and Chloe and McKenna. Even that, I think the chances that we've been creating was having a good shape in taking a good decision in the type of pass that we had to do. And obviously we need to improve. We need to analyze everything what happened during the game and try to do it better for the next week.
You have 3 video reviews over the half. How do you feel like the team coped with the interruptions, the stoppages, in terms of the rhythm of the game, and then what were your thoughts on the calls?
I cannot speak a lot because you know how it works, but I know that there are difficult situations, difficult plays, and they have to take a quick decision about what happened in the game. We missed a lot of time reviewing actions that because of something. I cannot complain about that, because if not, it seems like I am putting excuses, and I don't like to look that. But I think the reaction of the team was good. What I would like to know is a little more criteria about when you have to review, when you don't have to review, why one action is for, the other is not for. But now is as we are in the end of the game, we can put the focus on that, or we can put the focus on the new week, because we know that everything will depend on us. We have to analyze it and try to do it better for the next week. And other things that it doesn't depend on us in the way that the refs are doing their job. We have to accept it and look forward.
And another sellout crowd, opener record for attendance.
Was about bad news. Don't win the game because of them, especially. I think the team deserved it today. Try to get a better result, but especially for me, for the supporters, because they've been doing a good job. We knew last season how important they were. I am sad because of them, because they did a good job today. They were there all the time, the full game, 90 minutes, pushing us, and we couldn't. Let's see next week. We are going to need them again, and I hope that we can get the 3 points to give them the victory, because they deserve it. Well, the last question, I think we have more players available next week. That's going to be a good news. Obviously, we cannot advance anything because we have to train, and let's see how the players are improving and getting better for the next week. It's for sure that we need them, because we need to have enough players to compete. But happy even that with the players who are playing right now. And then in terms of learning, I think we are in the beginning. We have a good starting point if we compare with the last season. In the way that this team competes, I like. I think today is a good example. After conceding the goal, in the next 10-15 minutes, we've been creating 2-3 clear chances to score. So when you concede a goal and you can react like that, that's very, very important, because maybe other teams can react in other ways and be more disorganized or something like that. But perception after the goal conceded was good, because we created the most important chances in the game. And it's just the beginning. I know that it's going to be a long season, and for me, the most important thing is improve our performance every week. And I think we improve our performance if we compare with the last week, but today was not enough. So what we have to do is keep learning about the good things, the bad things, and try to be a better team. Spring? Yeah. She played last week. I think it's important, especially when you are coming back from a mid or long injury, that you can have good quality minutes. I don't like to speak, about play 60, 70, 80 or the full game if you are not in your best. So right now we wanted to give her the option to play 35, 40 minutes with the extra time, and I think it's important for her. If she's having good feelings after the game, she's going to be more available probably for the next week. We can, I think it's soon to say what we are going to do in the next week, and for sure I'll not say what we are going to do next week. But it's a type of system that I personally like, because in the position that you are occupying when you are defending are the same when you are attacking. So in terms of order and shape, it's easier for the player, and also because the player's availability give them the chance to adjust, how you can increase the options to win with the player that you have. And I think today, playing with 3 center backs, we were going to have more chances to win the game. That was the decision. Next week, I don't know. Let's see.
Aubrey, Ashley, thanks for speaking to us. I guess Ashley, you probably see this question coming, but I'm going to ask about the sequence on the penalty kick. It looked like maybe there was a jersey grab and not just a push, but I want to know what you felt and saw in the moment and what was maybe conveyed to you as the call worked out the way it did.
Not much was conveyed to me after. But yeah, I just was able to turn and definitely felt some contact. So naturally, as a good forward would do, try to draw a foul. But call didn't go our way, so a little unfortunate. But yeah.
And from both of your perspectives, we've been talking to Jonah and a few of the other players about the system change, playing out of the back three. What did you see in terms of that working? What maybe needs work to make it pan out for the future? What did you see?
I think we had a great game plan against Kansas City. We really limited their chances. Chewinga was kind of a non-factor until the end when we were pushing forward. And yeah, the second half they hardly got out of their half. So yeah, not necessarily something we'll do every game, but that was part of the game plan strategy coming in with how they like to put 5 on our back line. Yeah, I thought we did a great job of finding the space and created some great chances, especially in Lacey early in the second half. Credit to our keeper, had some good saves, and they defended well. It just wasn't our night with the officiating, with the finishing, but I'm proud of the performance. I thought we did a great job and controlled a lot of the match.
Something else that was brought up throughout the night is the fact that the performance tonight felt better than it did against Houston. There was an overall improvement. Obviously, you don't get the win, but for both of you as leaders on this team, what or how do you convey as a team that this is a long season and that there are positives to take away, and how are you approaching your 2 games in, and you win one, you lose one, but you improve on it?
Yeah, like you said, it's a long season, but it hurts because it's at Audi. We know we're the better team. Against Houston, they outpossessed us. They might have even created more chances than us, but I think we scored in kind of our only 2 good opportunities. Here, we had a lot of opportunities, couldn't find the back of the net. So those games are always difficult to swallow as a competitor when you feel like the opportunities are there and you just don't take advantage of them. But like you said, it's a long season. We definitely want to win every game at home. We want to win every game really there is, especially knowing that Kansas City is going to be probably one of the better teams at the end of the season. And so really to drop points to them hurts. But we are building. It's a marathon, and I think some good lessons were learned, and we played more of the style that we want to play. So that is a win, and we can take that as a positive and hopefully build on that for Friday's game.
This question is for you, Aubrey. How was to play against Shawi?
Yeah, she's a great player. We prepare for her, and again, we play 5 back just to make sure that there was close cover with her. I thought Tara did an incredible job on her. She really didn't have much until the end when we were pushing numbers forward, and they had that break there, and kind of unlucky, to be honest. It like goes off my hands and into her body, and so that stinks because I thought we were going to push and get an equalizer at the end. But yeah, she's a great player. She was MVP last year and Golden Boot winner. Like, great to have her in our league, and we love games against good players. And I thought we were up for the challenge, and we'll continue to be ready for whatever any opponents throw at us this season.
Question is for both of you. You have a new teammate, Rebecca Bernard from Mexico. How is this whole experience to have a new member? Did you ever eat any special dish, or how is the connection with her? What do you learn about her culture?
She's super fun to have. I mean, I feel like the second she got here, we've been asking a lot of her, playing different positions, different roles. But the first thing she said to all of us when she got here was she was excited to just contribute to the team and do whatever the team needed of her. And so from that first interaction, we knew that she was a good one. And because we've been so busy, we haven't really been able to do much off the pitch. But she's a tremendous player, super aggressive, really good with her long balls and her distribution. So she definitely adds to the team, and we're really happy to have her.
Yeah, she hasn't cooked for us yet, but we'll have to ask her.
So obviously you all are used to navigating injury. In this match you have Hal and Roy has the setback when maybe pace the game. How do you feel, how much of a factor do you think those absences may have been?
I mean, like, we always on when they're injured, but we also have a lot of players that are available. So just making the most of the players that we do have, I think that we have a deep enough bench to be able to still continue to win games. Obviously, we'd like to have a full roster. That always helps and just gives us more options, like depending on what the game presents. So hopefully all those players can get back soon and we can be in full strength. But we never like to see it as an excuse because I think that we're good enough.
And a sellout crowd, home opener record for attendance.
Honestly, I felt like it was even better than the playoffs last year. Like I thought, you know, we would kind of come back and start at that level, but I thought we like raised the bar again. I was just like kind of pinching myself, you know, at times where I just felt the stadium was just ready to erupt and like would probably crumble if we scored because people were just on the edge of their seat, especially during the penalty kick. Like it was so loud. So thank you to all our fans. It's gosh, I miss nights at Audi this off season and being here tonight like reminded me like it's just the best feeling ever playing in front of our fans at Audi.
Hi, Ashley. You guys couldn't seem to find the back end today. Can you talk about how you make sure opportunities doesn't become like a problem?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like creating more opportunities is something that we're consistently working on. So I think focusing on the things that we did well, I think there's a few chances that we were like this close from just like missed timing or just hitting it a little bit better, placing it instead of power or whatnot. So I think just more repetition, continuing to create stronger relationships in and around the box. And yeah, just continuing to practice and have a positive mindset going forward, and I think we'll be good.
Early in the second half. How do you guys bounce back?
Yeah, this team is used to coming back from behind. Both of our playoff games at Audi, we came back from behind, so there was always belief that we would finally equalize later in the match, and we thought we did at one point. But yeah, I think we responded really well tonight, and we have historically, and there's been a ton of late winners, late equalizers in our history at Audi. I think that's credit to the fans and being kind of our 12th man. But yeah, I just came up a little short, but I think that's part of our DNA is we always fight till the end.
Well, commiserations on Ashley, this was for you. Speaking to perhaps at times a little bit too much space between her and Lacey and herself. I just wanted to ask what kind of tweaks you guys make going forward if you're going to continue.
Yeah, definitely. I think that happened naturally because we had a five back, and it did feel like there was a lot of space and a lot of distance between Lacey, Narumi, and me. So I tried to like either close that distance by coming into that pocket or just stretching them. When I was stretching them, I feel like the balls probably needed to go over them, but a lot of times they dropped in front of them and there was a lot of space. And because of the distance, we couldn't win those second balls, and Kansas City was a lot closer. So I think we'll learn a lot from this game. Like Aubrey said, this is our first time like playing the three back, and we did pretty well for the first time. So I think that we'll learn a lot and we'll do better going forward.
Follow up on that, Aubrey, how did you feel? Not only defensively,
I thought it was a great move for tonight, and we got more comfortable in it. We didn't have enough passes. We're a little frantic and didn't make the best decisions on the ball. But I think towards the end, especially the second half, like they really didn't have any possession, and we could kind of move them however we wanted. So yeah, I think it was a great game plan. It's unfortunate to come short tonight.
Because I asked the question I had in mind almost before. So I will kind of pivot. This being week 2, you've both been through seasons where the team was doing well from the start, and then seasons where it wasn't going well, especially towards the end. How far along do you think the group is overall, given a little more stability with Jonah and Andrea both being in place from the jump? All of that, just big picture, how do you feel about the group right now?
We're pretty good. I'm excited about where we're at and where we're headed. This preseason was the most competitive I've ever been a part of as a Washington Spirit player. Yes, we have a lot of injuries, but we will get those players back, and it's going to be really hard even to make the 18 game day roster and the 11 starting lineup. So yeah, we've got the pieces there. We just need to get the points, which is important to put us in a position to hopefully win the Shield and be at the top of the table.